All right, a new study shows that Elon Musk's political views cost Tesla over 1 million sales in the US alone. I'm not talking about $1 million in sales. I mean 1 million raw sales just in the United States. Now, this study done by researchers at Yale and the National Bureau of Economic Research does not take into account the worldwide effect. But these are some heavy hitters conducting this study, and the conclusion that they came to is that I guess Americans don't want to see a far right shift in some of the biggest business leaders in the entire country. We can actually dig into the study itself. I downloaded the PDF because I found it quite interesting. They open off with the line, quote, "Republicans buy sneakers too," from Michael Jordan. He said this as people were pressuring him to, weigh in on political issues. He decided, like, Republicans buy sneakers too. I guess the inverse of this is that, hey, liberals buy Teslas too, or anybody who's not far right, they buy Teslas too, and they don't want to see the owner turning far right rapidly. I also want to point out that throughout the past months, but throughout the past week in particular, Elon Musk is doubling down on this far right, accelerationist, anti-immigration rhetoric. Like, it's some of the most absurd rhetoric I've seen coming from people in this high of a position of power. He doesn't actually wield institutional power right now, but Elon Musk has a lot of wealth. He has a lot of attention on him, and his ownership of the platform X allows him to control the narrative at any given moment, and he's using that to try to rewrite the facts and shift the narrative far right. We'll get there in 1 second, but let's just open off this study. It says, in 2020, Tesla was the fastest growing automaker in the United States, shaking the auto industry's status quo. By July of 2025, Tesla was looking at a second consecutive year of falling sales. This decline took place even though overall EV sales grew 7% in 2024 and then grew in the first half of 2025. EVs are getting more popular, but Tesla is getting less popular. So this study asks why. Is it competition in the market? Is it people just not really wanting to buy EVs anymore? No, it's not that. They look at it through another lens. It says, we focus on this paper on another factor, the influence of Tesla's CEO, Elon Musk, as evidenced by bumper stickers, quote, "I bought this car before I knew Elon was crazy." It appears that some buyers are displeased. Before we continue with the study, I think it is very important, this part is very important, to point out what Elon Musk has done specifically over the past week. By the way, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the Adam Mockler feed if you like the truth that we bring to this landscape. But Elon has announced a new sort of mechanism for his platform that is supposed to rival Wikipedia. Wikipedia is the online database of a bunch of information and entries. Of course, it's not perfect because people can submit their own entries, but there are mechanisms to make sure the information is filtered. Generally, Wikipedia is pretty solid. That's what I've learned. Generally, Wikipedia entries are pretty accurate because if they are wrong, they quickly get changed back. But we have to understand that Elon Musk is obsessed with changing the information landscape, not just towards conservatism, but towards far-right populist fascism, hating immigrants and wanting to redistribute wealth to the richest of the rich because that benefits him. So we've seen him do that with X. He bought the platform and he boosts far-right posts while suppressing more liberal posts. By the way, go follow me on X if you're on that platform. It is an information war, and we are trying to win every single day. He boosts far-right posts to dominate the information landscape. What Elon Musk announced is that he's starting a new Wikipedia called Grokpedia. Grok is the AI bot that he created that has gone far-right a few times. It called itself Mecha Hitler, made a bunch of jokes about Jews, just crazy stuff. The problem is, Elon Musk's new Grokpedia is changing the definitions of like racist conspiracy theories or saying that Russia is justified in invading. And Elon Musk isn't even denying this. He did an interview that he then retweeted. And in this interview, he says, Grok is rewriting the internet to fix falsehoods and half-truths. He thinks that Grok is this divine source of truth, essentially, that has all the facts, and that there's no way Wikipedia or books or pre-existing studies can apply. So now Grok is literally rewriting what history is. Elon's right about that, but he's wrong about whether or not he's doing it for the betterment of humanity. For example, the Great Replacement conspiracy theory, which has always been a far-right theory This far-right theory essentially says that Jewish people, along with liberals in America, are intentionally bringing in immigrants to try to replace white people. It is a conspiracy theory that has caused mass shootings in the past in Texas. There was a mass shooter in the past who believed in the Great Replacement theory and used that to shoot up, I think it was 22 people at a Walmart. But this has happened over and over and over. It is a vile conspiracy theory that is based on falsehoods that immigrants are only coming here, are only placed here intentionally by liberals and Jewish people. There's no truth to it. But as you can read here, they rewrite the definition of it. It says, the Great Replacement theory originated by a French writer in a 2011 essay called Le Grand Replacement, which contends that historic populations are shifting. And then it tries to sane wash it even further. Remember, this is a sane washer. They say that this was driven by elite policies of net migration that will account for nearly all population changing. And then it says, the theory has gained traction among European intellectuals. All this works to do is legitimize the Great Replacement theory. This is something that's pushed by online people like Nick Fuentes or online people like, I don't know, now Tucker Carlson. This is pushed by far-right demagogues, not by any serious intellectuals. To continue, after Elon Musk then says we're rewriting the internet, we then hear from some pro-Ukraine accounts, hey, Elon Musk launched Grokpedia. It's supposed to be an alternative to Wikipedia, promising to be more truthful. So we looked up the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and all it does is cite the Kremlin. Its main source, as you can see at the bottom, is just the Kremlin. They give it from the Russian perspective. They say Ukraine was invaded because Russia claims this, this, and this. And this brings me perfectly back to the study showing that in this paper, Elon Musk's political views, his shift, not just to the right. He didn't just turn into a Republican. He's not just like a Mitt Romney Republican now. He's legitimately pushing far-right white supremacist ideologies on Twitter, and that is pissing off the Tesla fan base. That loops us perfectly back. So let's continue. These actions included mass layoffs, relaxed content moderating of far-right and extremist voices, and a shift of politics on his own. For many, the negative perceptions were exacerbated further by Musk's overtly partisan activities in the 2024 election, including $300 million in campaign contributions to Republican candidates, the largest donation to any party in American history, the largest donation to any single candidate in American history was done by Elon Musk. We need to talk about that more, that Elon Musk openly bought his way into the White House. His subsequent actions as the de facto head of the Trump administration's DOGE also hurt this. Elon Musk violated Michael Jordan's dictum of political neutrality, but even more dramatically, Musk's actions antagonized his most loyal consumer base. For, as we know, Democrats are generally more likely to buy EVs, and this study proves that Democrats are far more likely to buy EVs. We estimate the effect of Elon Musk's increasingly polarizing and partisan actions on Tesla vehicle sales in the United States. I mean, yeah, it kind of turns out when you are pro-Russia, when you buy a platform and use that platform to elect somebody who is pretty far right, and then you yourself do something that either is a Nazi salute or at the very least perfectly resembles a Nazi salute. I mean, I can't tell which one is worse. Obviously the Nazi salute, but the fact that you're a business leader, you're one of the biggest business leaders in the world and you're doing this, either way, is absurd. Of course that's going to hurt sales. So they have a few different indicators or lenses that they look through to use as prongs that support their final conclusion. For example, they look county by county, and just very quickly it says, specifically, we find that more Democratic counties showed an increasing propensity to purchase Teslas prior to October of 2022. So before Elon Musk bought Twitter, more liberal Democratic counties bought a lot of Teslas. And this was perhaps due to environmental concerns or greater awarenesses about potential climate change. I mean, there's a lot of good reasons why liberal counties bought more Teslas before Elon Musk turned far right. However, that trend reversed after October 2022. It sharply reversed. So they then looked county by county and they figured out, wait a minute. It seems like a lot of these more liberal counties are still increasing in EV sales, but people are either, switching the type of EV that they're buying or, selling their Tesla and opting for something else. Like there's something interesting happening here. And they find out, our primary results I'll skip to the punch. Our primary result is that Elon Musk's polarizing and partisan actions had a dramatic effect on Tesla sales. And this effect grows over time starting in October 2022. It basically accelerates. And here are the final baseline numbers. By the first quarter of 2025, we find that without the Musk partisan effect, Tesla monthly sales would have been about 150% higher. When the effect is aggregated over the entire period of October 2022 through April of 2025, we find that Tesla lost between 1 and 1.26 million vehicle sales, amounting to between 67 and 83% of the actual number of Teslas sold over the same period. What is more, the Musk partisan effect increased the number of vehicle sales of competitors. So competitors also got a boost because people were ditching Tesla. In the first quarter of 2025, we find that without the Musk partisan effect, monthly sales of other electric and hybrid vehicles would have been around 25% lower. 25% lower. When aggregated back to October 2022, Musk's partisan activities increased the sales of competitors, EV competitors, by between 17% and 22%. That is the Elon Musk effect. We have to continue to relentlessly push the truth because it does manifest in Elon Musk's wealth, his vehicle sales, the way that he operates. He is currently trying to dominate the information landscape, the attention economy via blunt force, like just blunt force dominating it. And to be honest, it's working. He has a tweet the other day that got like 92 million views. That's how many views my channel pulls in like a month, which is amazing. And I'm incredibly grateful. And we are absolutely killing it. But just this asymmetry between the way he pulls tens of millions of views, a lot of them are botted, to be fair, and the way that we have to fight this uphill battle, like we're Sisyphus every single day, just pushing the rock up the hill, trying to win. We're going to have to keep fighting, but that means all of us keep fighting together. You guys with me with you. I appreciate every single person who watches these videos. Double check to make sure you're subscribed. I love you all. Peace out.